heard the rumors.
I've been asked to come on as a head coach, and it's a great opportunity, I think, for everybody. A little bit about me. Played hockey growing up since I was about 4 years old. Grew up playing in Alaska, where I started playing. So a lot of ice time up there. Every school and pretty much park had an outdoor rink, so we were able to get out quite a bit. Played here in Nashville, moved here in '98, and played all the way up through my senior year of high school. After that, I got injured in a tryout. My stick handling skills weren't so great, so my heavy hands had to be. Got injured, and that kind of ended my playing career. I've been refereeing for the last 13 years prior to that, since I was about 13, so 10 years, and went off and was able to go do minor pro hockey as a linesman in the Central Hockey League for a couple years. After 2 seasons of that, I joined the Marine Corps and did a 6-year active reserve in Huntsville, Alabama, stationed down there. Went to Afghanistan in 2011, and just before that, I got into coaching, doing some high school, and when I got back, I joined Mount Juliet High School as their head coach, and was their head coach for about 3 years. Last year, you guys might have seen me around a little bit. I was able to come out. Troy and everyone let me come out. I was very intrigued by me before I'd seen you guys out there, and then my son plays over the Sportsplex on Sundays as well, so it worked out really well that I was able to come out and kind of see what you guys were doing, and really loved it, and I think this year is going to be a lot of fun. One thing this year that I feel that we're going to be able to do differently is a little bit more structure to just about everything on ice. We're going to have structured practice plans that are going to be specific for each day. We're going to go in, we're going to have a task at hand, we're going to try to accomplish that task, and then move on from there and build those from the ground up. Most of the stuff that I bring to the table is more the positioning, the systems, the mindset, what you need to be thinking, where you need to be going in certain situations. I've seen you guys out there, you guys have the ability and the talent to do it, so we're going to add the physical talent and the ability with the mental aspect of it, and really kind of bring that game together. I've seen how you guys have done in tournaments, and it's pretty awesome. So now we're just going to dominate the world. So
awesome.
That's kind of what I'm doing. So, we're going to take the idea is to take this just from a recreational team, and especially for the adults, to kind of gear that toward more of a competitive team, and kind of climbing that ladder as far as difficulty in tournaments, and moving up from the C or whatever up to B, and hopefully in a year or two get into those A-League tournaments as well. So, hey man, let's go. So, a couple of you, I've spoken with you, and some of the stuff, there might be some terminology that you're not aware of, or just haven't been in it, maybe some systems, positioning, and so that's kind of where we're going to start. I tried never to assume that anybody knows anything, because I know it. When I'm out here, I do a lot of coaching, private lessons, one-on-ones with all age groups, and you never know what somebody else has been taught or what they haven't been taught. So my style, if it seems, the first couple days, if it seems like, oh, I already know that, well, there's a reason for it. It's building blocks. So we're going to start at the bottom. We're going to go over the basics, because just because you weren't taught the basic, that's not your fault. That's either the person that was leading you, or it's just, hey, it's a new opportunity and we're progressing as a team. So before we kind of get into kind of where we're going to head in that department, do you guys have questions about, I guess, kind of outside of that, or anything about me? Or
I just have one question. Did we get the grant?
I haven't heard yet. They're supposed to notify applicants by the 26th. So that's next week. So the end of next week we should know.
Cool. As far as the youth team goes, I'm going to be working alongside Mike, and we're going to work toward structuring those practices and building those building blocks too. And so it's a kind of a cohesive effort, bringing everybody up to speed as they progress in their hockey and as they move to the next level. The idea is that once you get up to that level, the highest level that we can provide, it's definitely, you put out the effort, you get the playing time, you get the knowledge, and the team just becomes better and better. For those guys that don't necessarily put in the time or put in the effort, you know, that's not fair just to say, okay, well, you're gonna get the same ice time or the same treatment as everybody else. I want people that really want to be out there and be competitive and put out the effort. I want those people to be brought up to the top. You know, that's the reward for going out there, becoming a better hockey player, becoming a better individual, becoming a better team member. I don't like guys that go out there and just try to showboat, or there's guys that are out there that are obviously faster than others. That's great, but those guys are up there to also need to be there to build others up, or getting guys, those guys passes, get them open, and working as a team. It really doesn't do anything for me as a coach to see a guy go coast to coast. That doesn't really do much for us, especially if the score is lopsided. Even if we're up 10-1, that's when we should really start needing to work on other things. Passing 3 or 4 times before we take a shot, staying in position, working the puck around the outside, that kind of thing. We're going to play with class, with dignity and respect, no matter what the score is, whether it's 10-0 we're losing or 10-0 we're winning. So that's definitely something very important to me, sportsmanship, and I really don't tolerate anything other than that. That's just common courtesies and respect for your game. So some terminology. I brought a dry erase board just in case we need to kind of draw some stuff out. As we progress in hockey terms, most of you are familiar with position names as far as center, left wing, left D, right D. Those terms are really only used at a face-off. That's the only time that in a high level of hockey, you will be a left wing or a right wing or a center. As we progress in game play, it could be called F1, F2, and F3. That's forward number 1, forward number 2, number 3. Forward F1 is the first person on the puck. Okay. F2 and F3 are those supporting positions. Okay. As we progress, you have to be able to work what's called work off the puck. Working off the puck means that you need to get open for the player that has the puck. If everybody's just hovering around the puck in a big orb, that really doesn't do anything for us. We want to spread out and work off the puck. So F1 is going to be that forward that's, say, in the corner, going to get that puck. F2 for us is going to be probably behind the net or somewhere in an outlet option, and F3 is going to be high slot, which high slot is between the 2 hash marks, 2 red lines right in front of the crease. So if anytime, if I say a word or a term you don't know what it is, just raise your hand and we will verify it, because I'm going to keep using these terms over and over again.
I would assume that a lot of guys don't know the terminology
Okay.
about high slot and hash marks. I would.
So let's draw it. I'm a pretty good artist.
Some
Draw a
some
big
here
stick
know
figure.
that, but some don't. So
So I'll try to draw this in there where I'll get out of the way here in just a second.
You're okay. You're way.
You're off.
It's the military background.
If I had something to throw besides myself, I'm throwing it.
Alright, so depending on where we are, this is going to be blue. My crude drawings. So we'll get out of the way. Try to move this back. Alright, there we go. Perfect. So, the blue paint in front of the net is called the crease. Why? I don't know. Always has been. That's the crease. This area, another marker. Pretty much a triangle type looking trapezoid. In front, it's imaginary, no lines there, it's considered the slot, all right? This would be the high slot, low slot, this is a slot, okay? Once again, don't know why they call it a slot, it's called a slot. Puck goes into the corner, okay? Now we have our F1 goes in the corner. We're gonna have F3 somewhere in here. Good, there we go. And F2 and here, okay? The reason why we call these F1, F2, and F3 is that hockey is a game of controlled chaos, right? You're gonna get across sides, you're gonna cross back and forth, and if you think that I'm only a left wing, I can only stay on the left side of the rink, then it leaves a lot to be desired as far as keeping the game moving and being aggressive. So that F1 is going to have the puck. The reason that we're going to have one person working, or two people working off the puck, is that way he can have a pass. Because he's going to have at least 1 to 2 defenders coming at him pretty quickly. Okay, we're going to have a defenseman. I stole all these from work. I'll give them back. That's why I have all these cool colors. So we'll have a defenseman here. Once again, it'll be D1 and D2. D2 will be over here. Okay? These two defensemen are always about the same distance apart. They're always going to be about half the width of the ice. If this puck comes around here, these defensemen are going to start shifting back and forth with the puck. Defensemen, nature of the game, even in able body, they're always moving. Okay? They're always moving. As soon as you just stand still, sit there, and not be moving, you're already, putting yourself at a weaker spot because that puck comes out so quickly that you want to be able to just turn and burn. So F1 has an option here as far as he can pass out to the D if he's available here with an option F3, or bounces his puck over here to F2. In this scenario, if he passes to F2, F2 would try to come this way more than likely. Alright, if he is, because there's probably going to be a lot of traffic right in here. So then F3 is an option, F1 starts sliding back in here so they can do some bounce passes. So they're always going to kind of be in like a triangle, some type of design there. We just really want to be open. If this guy gets the puck, comes over here, I don't need this guy to go over here and this guy to go over here as well, just because we're gonna limit ourselves on the options.
Looks like follow the leader.
Yep. So we're always gonna try to be spread out.
Now, when it comes to your defensive guys, that D1, when that puck's down in that corner over here that he was in, yeah,
Yep.
your D1 needs to be closer to the boards. Now, you don't, for us, when you're thinking about what your body position needs to be in a sled, you don't want to be facing the boards. You're going to want to get down there and get where you're facing down to the action, or you at least got your sled kind of coming back up toward the blue line, so that way if it comes out and you can start and it's going to go, you can turn and start burning, and their forwards aren't beating you down there. So you have to think of your body position. It's a lot different than able body for me, and I mean for anybody like that. So you have to, as a D guy, you have to keep your body position. You don't want to be facing the boards, because if the puck ends up going behind you, you're facing the wrong way. And if your back is toward the boards, you've got more of a chance to reach right here with your stick, or lay your stick down to keep that puck from coming out of your zone, keep it in the offensive zone, and then feed it back down.
Okay. So when moving, when positioning yourself, as a defenseman up here or as a forward anywhere really, you're always going to turn toward the puck. Okay, always turning toward the action. So if you're here and you're coming this way, you're going to always want to peel toward the puck. Okay, if you start peeling this way, now you have to look all the way around. I mean, a lot of this stuff, there's no difference in able body and sled hockey in these aspects. You're always going to be turning toward the action, just to help yourself out. So this D here is going to be more than likely, what I'd like to see is if the puck's down here, you're going to be making circles like this, almost like kind of a figure eight. Okay, just always moving, always moving. Once you get about here, you're going to want to cut back, obviously. That way, if the puck comes up here, you're always moving, and you can come down real quick, take a shot, get a pass, but then you got to come back. Okay,
You always gotta come back to your position. You gotta be responsible enough to be disciplined to, yeah, you can get into play, that's great, make an opportunity, make a pass, but you have to get back, you have the responsibility at that position. So as the puck comes, we'll just say the puck comes over this way, and it gets wrapped around, now D comes, they slide over here, now this D1 is over here, D2 comes up to the boards, and you're still doing figure eights. This D at the top of the slot here, make this guy go over here. Okay, this D up here is going to be doing the same kind of thing, but he's going to be coming down here and circling, doing some figure eights or whatever, just doing some cycling, what they call it, right? Cycling, and keeping it moving. Some other terminology, these little lines right here, those are the hash marks. Those are good positioning spots as far as obviously at the face-offs, but we'd like to have our forwards stay below those. You know, we don't need forwards coming way up here, especially when the puck's down below the goal line. Forwards need to come down here. As that puck comes up the boards and out the ice, down the ice, and yeah, we're gonna back check. Okay, back checking means puck comes out. I'm F whatever down here. Okay, I'm down here. The puck comes out and the play's going this way. This guy now has to back check, coming down as hard as he can and picking up one of the now offensive players on the other team. Okay, if he just hangs out back here, goes nice and slow, wait for that transition. Well, that leaves a lot for us to have to defend down here because that puck might stay down in our end for quite a while. So if he doesn't hustle and come down, then he's being one, selfish, and two, not going to see a lot of ice time because he's lazy. One thing that there's a lot of stuff that I don't know about your guys' gameplay, and so as far as systems, it's going to be a kind of an evolving thing. When I say systems mean how we position ourselves at different points of the game for different opponents. At any level, I don't like to come in and say we're going to run this system because I don't know if you guys can even do that, good or bad. You guys might be head and shoulders above that system and ready for something else. So we're going to try some things. So if we start mixing it up, and as far as the positioning goes out there or how we line up, that's all to be expected, and just be ready for that. We're going to break it down when we go out there. We're going to set up, and there's going to be times on the ice that it gets a little boring because we're not moving, but it's something we have to do. My goal is to keep you guys moving as much as possible, working on skills, shooting, skating, positioning, all that kind of good stuff. But there's going to be some slow time, and that slow time is the time to really focus, because if we can be rock solid in our positioning, we're going to really have a big advantage. Offsides. Everybody know what offsides is?
That's my problem.
Okay.
Everybody says they do.
Mine too.
It only never happens for some reason.
Everybody says they do, all right? I got high school kids who've been playing for 10, 15 years. Until they figure it out. Let's go through it. Like I said, I don't assume that anybody knows it.
I think a lot of the guys understand it when it's coming in, the initial time coming in, but if it comes back out, we're doing a lot of screaming, and I think that's kind of a little bit to do with they're not tracking the puck, they're not paying attention to the play and paying attention to the puck.
Okay. So, offside, puck carriers coming in. We'll say us, because we're always attack. Okay. So, this F1, because he has the puck. If he's here on the neutral zone, okay. Neutral zone, that's the defensive zone. Alright, so between the blue lines, I'm drawing up the line. And there it is, right there. Alright, so between the two blue lines is the neutral zone. Because not theirs, it's not ours, it's everybody's. Okay? Our goalie's down here, this is the defensive zone. Side that we're shooting on, that's offensive zone. So that puck's in the neutral zone here. That puck obviously has to go across that blue line before any other of our players can cross that blue line. Okay? So once that puck comes in, okay, all of our guys come in, we're good, we're starting to set up, this puck comes all the way around, comes back out. This puck, just now we have all these guys down here. Everybody has to come out of the offensive zone into the neutral zone before we can all re-enter. Okay? They do tag up in this league, or is it automatic?
It just determines, I mean, it's the same way with
Can you dump and chase?
Um,
Can you dump it back in?
and it really determines on the referees too. I mean,
Okay.
sometimes you can
So-
dump it back in, but they're gonna, if it's gonna go close to your guys, you're gonna have to go back out.
Okay. So we'll go over both
Call.
scenarios.
There's definitely a delayed offset.
Delayed- is it delayed
I
off?
mean,
Okay.
If they see
All right.
that the guys are coming off, you know,
So
that our
delayed
team's
off-
coming off, they're gonna delay.
Delayed offside is also, they call it dump and chase.
Yeah.
You can do a dump and chase. So a dump and chase, or delayed offsides, means that puck comes out, I still have, we'll just start doing X's and O's, we'll be X's. Okay, so I have three of our guys in here, and 2 of our guys are in the neutral zone. Our defensive player gets the puck. After it comes out, we have to start making our way out of the offensive zone. Okay? This defenseman, if he dumps it back in, not on net. Okay? If we have players in the zone, do not take a shot on net, because that will, if there's a delayed offside, we'll bring it all the way down to our zone and have a face-off. It's called intentional offside. Okay?
I think most of the time in this situation, they're gonna blow the whistle.
Okay.
I
So,
don't think, is that what you remember? I don't think they're gonna allow us. to
Every
touch
ref,
up.
like you said, every ref's different.
Just wait for somebody to put their hand up like this.
okay.
Generally though, if you're making that effort to.
Don't hit my knee.
Now, if the 3 guys are just sitting there, yeah, they're gonna they're gonna blow.
I'm
But
sorry
if they're-
if my ROS
if those
kicks
guys
in.
start making their approach coming out.
If he shoots it in without skating,
You know, I'm sorry if I keep
There's
kicking you, but
not
my legs.
obviously just doesn't happen that often. That's-
I think
Now I kicked you.
most of the time they're gonna blow the whistle.
okay.
I think, not always, but most of the time.
So before we really get going, I'll find out. We'll find out a definite answer for that. So if they allow delayed offsides, most of the time, I would assume that we would want to, if we have the space and time, we're gonna carry that puck in anyway. So that's where we get into trouble. You can't just carry that in with other guys in the zone. So anytime that puck comes out of the zone, everybody has to get out of the zone. That's the mindset we're going for, okay? Because you have to, anyway, whatever the rules are, you have to come out. That guy's gonna wait before he can still start coming up, but he has to wait till they cross that blue line. If he has a ton of steam, ton of momentum, and he still sees that we got Sled hook back over here, they're almost to the line, okay, they're coming out, he's gonna need to pivot down the line, okay? You're gonna have to go laterally. Keep his forward momentum, essentially, wait for this person just to get out, and then cranks back in and goes in on that, okay? Obviously want to try to keep as much control of the puck as possible, so sometimes dump and chase is a great asset, sometimes it's just kind of a waste of time.
I think maybe one of the biggest things that I see is somebody's caught deep and they're not aware that the puck's cleared the offensive zone.
Okay.
And they keep skating toward the net trying to get in position just because they don't know that it's been cleared.
So a big part of hockey is communication, okay? Talking, letting everybody know what's going on. So if that puck comes out, players on the bench are not exempt from talking. Okay?
Right?
You know, that's,
There you go.
that's just it. So, you have to, but if you're yelling, trying to help somebody out, you also have to be doing it in a manner that is legible, audible, understandable. You can't just be yelling crazy things. So if that puck comes out, we're gonna say offside or out. Those short words, those short syllables is gonna help somebody across the ice hear that instead of, hey, you idiot, get up. That kind of stuff.
We heard plenty of that.
Yeah, we did.
I'm sure there's probably more adjectives in there too. So that's the kind of stuff that we're going to look toward is really the communication part of it. It's a very difficult thing to get your head around sometimes. People want to be quiet out there. They just want to do their own thing, put their head down, and not communicate. It's not just offsides. It's when you're coming in the zone and somebody's open or there's somebody coming on you. If I have the puck, and I have somebody coming up behind me and I can't see it, I'd hope my teammate, goalie, whoever can see that is gonna say, you got one on you, you got one on you. You know, stuff like that, or let me know who's open, you know. Either by saying boards, meaning that I need to go off the boards with it, or saying a name, you know, Jeff's up there. So, you know, those kind of things. Something that's very important is knowing what you're gonna do with the puck before you even get it. It's probably the best piece of hockey sense that you could ever have, is that you're always looking for a pass, even if you don't have that puck, okay? So anytime on the ice, puck's all the way down there, you're down here, your mindset is, if I get that puck right now, who am I gonna pass to? Okay, that should be a recurring thing. That'll only help you, because what people wanna do is they get that puck, they get so flustered they don't know what to do with it, they just shoot it, they get rid of it, okay? They have all the time in the world, okay? It's a very fast game. You get that puck, then you start scanning, you don't really know where anybody is. All you see is some guy bearing down on you, you know, full head of steam, and you just get rid of that puck. So what we're gonna strive to do is always have that mentality of, where am I gonna go with that puck next? Always. Even if you're on the bench, act like you're somebody else out there, okay? I'm gonna put myself in the defenseman's head right now. He's over here, puck's over here, there's a guy open on the half boards, okay, half boards, halfway up, or the dasher, or there's a guy in the high slot. I know there's a guy sitting there camped out. If I get that puck, I'm gonna look there first, okay, so that's the mindset. It's definitely something that you have to create and a habit that you have to get into.